But anyway, so what else there was mentioned? Like animations improved, blah blah blah, and so on. Anyway, so long story short, classes have their own traits, they have their own perks, they have their own abilities, realistic abilities, and
Believable.
yeah, and there's no
Believable.
weapon.
Let's not call it realistic. It's believable.
Yeah, dice is still double down, doubling down, doubling down.
Doubling down. There you go.
I got that. Doubling down on classes having no weapon restrictions. And let me tell you this, it's fine. It's fine. And to meet in the middle somewhere, like somewhere in the middle, is like, okay, you know what? If you use a assault rifle for assault class, you get some perks on top to encourage you to use the specific class for each class. And you know what? That's fine. I think that's fine. I see no problem with that because at the end of the day, the class is not being defined by the weapon.
And the only problem I see.
What's the problem?
And not that I really want to interrupt you.
But
while we're
how dare you?
in that section of it. Not that I want to interrupt you, but while we're at that point right now, before I lose this thought, my question is we're going to add benefits to using guns that are associated with class, right? That's a good idea. Okay, cool. That encourages the players in order to use the appropriate classes. My kind of question is not that I want to be the cathartic one, but why is there why wouldn't there be any slight punishments for using guns well outside of their class? So let's say, I don't know, a medic carrying an LMG, a hip fire accuracy penalty, ADS fire penalty, because a medic shouldn't be carrying an LMG.
I think that.
I mean,
we had
because this opens the question of where do the lines get drawn as far as what guns are quote unquote appropriate for a class or not. Because at that point now you're talking about bringing in milsim levels of realism as far as roles go in the military, and now you're opening another whole huge can of worms. So this is kind of why I'm a little bit against this whole idea of perks being associated with quote-unquote guns that are supposed to be associated with the class, because at the same time I feel it's kind of wrong that there's no downside to using stuff that's outside of it. Like if I'm a medic and I have benefits and perks for using an assault rifle, cool. But if for any reason I have to pick up an a sniper rifle, say, and make a long-range shot, there should be an accuracy penalty or something associated with that, because that medic shouldn't, be proficient with every gun in existence. I mean, do you see the rabbit hole that I'm creating here, that they have created, that I have now found, and I'm kicking everybody down?
See, I remember we had conversations 10 years ago. Something similar in this vein, right? Something similar. I don't remember what was it, but it was something similar. And I remember there was discussions happening. I think it was David Sterling, or something like that. Which ironically, he is the producer of this game. He's the Battlefield Labs lead person. And I remember there was a conversation happening about the carrot approach, not the stick approach, because apparently there was like data saying if the stick approach was happening, the stick approach was basically just destroyed whatever will people had. They're just gonna go to the best option available, and they will not care trying out anything else. But with the carrot, at least like, oh, okay, I can use everything I want or whatever, just fine, with no penalties, no problems. It's like I can adapt that to my playstyle, and nothing will ruin my gameplay. It's fine. I can play the game as normally, and I can do my class role fine. But if I use a specific thing for this specific class, I get some benefits. And like, oh, that means I can even do better because I'm doing what the game has encouraged me to do in the first place. So it's a carrot and stick approach. And apparently the stick approach just demotivates people from trying something new.
Which I find weird. I find really weird in order to insinuate that, because here's the thing. AEK spam was AEK spam was AEK spam.
Well, AEK was good weapon, that's the problem.
The meta is, yes, that's exactly it. People are going to just stick to the meta regardless. So that's an infuriating revelation of truth. That's why developers often shake up metas often to encourage people to change, to try new things. I don't think that, I mean, I get that the data shows, but I really find it very hard to believe that because, again, like people are going to go with what works, with what is the best, not only for them or what is or whatever the meta is. Period in the game. There were guns in Battlefield 4 that everybody used because they were the best. It didn't matter what they introduced. I mean, and that game had a buffet of guns in comparison to some of the games we have nowadays.
Oh yeah,
and people barely used half of them. Why? Because they sucked. By comparison to the meta.
Similar. Yeah, they felt similar.
Yeah, or there was just a clone that was just that little bit off, or it didn't have this quirk or this perk, or you know what I mean. So when they say that the carrot and stick approach doesn't work, that just the carrot approach works, I find that kind of conflicting, because the carrot approach is encouraging people to further stick to the meta.
Meta will change as
long... And so the carrot and so the stick approaches. Think about what I said there. You're going to punish people for not doing what's supposed, quote unquote, the meta. So I'm still further encouraging people. I think the best thing would be to just not have it, period, because it doesn't really do anything.
So in your opinion, you think that they should just lock weapons to classes then?
In the most logical, well, yeah. I mean, to a degree, yes, but at the same time, no, because I want the freedom in order to be able to pull a sniper rifle and use it when I need it. But the problem being is now they've introduced that like I said, this is the Pandora's box that they opened now, because now logically speaking, you're wanting it one way or not. You want to tell people that you want them to try new things. You want them to do different things. So you opened everything up, but at the same time, again, you're still encouraging them in order to, okay, assault only has to use assault rifles and support only has to use LMGs, or you're not going to get the buff now. But versus where originally I would have wanted it, where, okay, if I need a sniper rifle and I continuously die to somebody, and let's say, I don't know, the 44 Magnum isn't the beast that it used to be, and I can't use that to counter snipe, and I need to switch to a sniper rifle in order to try or because I can't get out of this position, or some reason I have to change weapons outside of the norm. Again, I feel like I should be getting penalized for that, because it's the complete opposite of what my class is supposed to be doing. In that instance, my teammates should be able to take care of the sniper and help out so that I can continue the role that I have been in the fight to begin with. So it's complicated. It's not